Jules Henri Poincaré was a French mathematician, theoretical physicist, engineer, and a philosopher of science. He is often described as a polymath, and in mathematics as the Last Universalist by Eric Temple Bell, since he excelled in all fields of the discipline as it existed during his lifetime. As a mathematician and physicist, he made many original fundamental contributions to pure and applied mathematics, mathematical physics, and celestial mechanics. He was responsible for formulating the Poincaré conjecture, which was one of the most famous unsolved problems in mathematics until it was solved in 2002-2003. In his research on the three-body problem, Poincaré became the first person to discover a chaotic deterministic system which laid the foundations of modern chaos theory. He is also considered to be one of the founders of the field of topology. Poincaré made clear the importance of paying attention to the invariance of laws of physics under different transformations, and was the first to present the Lorentz transformations in their modern symmetrical form. Poincaré discovered the remaining relativistic velocity transformations and recorded them in a letter to Dutch physicist Hendrik Lorentz in 1905. Thus he obtained perfect invariance of all of Maxwell's equations, an important step in the formulation of the theory of special relativity. The Poincaré group used in physics and mathematics was named after him. Life. Poincaré was born on 29 April 1854 in Cité-du-Cal neighborhood, Nancy, Meurthe-et-Moselle, into an influential family. His father Léon Poincaré was a professor of medicine at the University of Nancy. His adored younger sister Aileen married the spiritual philosopher Émile Boutroux. Another notable member of Henry's family was his cousin, Raymond Poincaré, who would become the President of France, 1913–1920, and a fellow member of the Académie Française. He was raised in the Roman Catholic faith. Education. During his childhood he was seriously ill for a time with diphtheria and received special instruction from his mother, Eugénie Launois. In 1862, Henry entered the Lycée in Nancy. He spent 11 years at the Lycée, and during this time he proved to be one of the top students in every topic he studied. He excelled in written composition. His mathematics teacher described him as a monster of mathematics, and he won first prizes in the Concours Général, a competition between the top pupils from all the lycées acuités across France. His poorest subjects were music and physical education, where he was described as average at best. However, poor eyesight and a tendency towards absent-mindedness may explain these difficulties. He graduated from the Lycée in 1871 with a bachelor's degree in letters and sciences. During the Franco-Prussian War of 1870, he served alongside his father in the ambulance corps. Poincaré entered the École Polytechnique in 1873 and graduated in 1875. There he studied mathematics as a student to Charles Hermite, continuing to excel and publishing his first paper in 1874. From November 1875 to June 1878 he studied at the École des Mines, while continuing the study of mathematics in addition to the mining engineering syllabus, and received the degree of ordinary mining engineer in March 1879. As a graduate of the École des Mines, he joined the Corps des Mines as an inspector for the Vesoul region in northeast France. He was on the scene of a mining disaster at Magny in August 1879 in which 18 miners died. He carried out the official investigation into the accident in a characteristically thorough and humane way. At the same time, Poincaré was preparing for his doctorate in sciences in mathematics under the supervision of Charles Hermite. His doctoral thesis was in the field of differential equations. It was named Sur les propriétés des fonctions définies par les équations différences. Poincaré devised a new way of studying the properties of these equations. He not only faced the question of determining the integral of such equations, but also was the first person to study their general geometric properties. He realized that they could be used to model the behavior of multiple bodies in free motion within the solar system. Poincaré graduated from the University of Paris in 1879. The first scientific achievements after receiving his degree. Poincaré began teaching as junior lecturer in mathematics at the University of Caen in Normandy. At the same time, he published his first major article concerning the treatment of a class of automorphic functions. There, in Caen, he met his future wife, Louise Poland Andesi, and on 20 April 1881, they married. Together they had 4 children: Jean, Yvonne, Henriette, and Elie Couteau. Poincaré immediately established himself among the greatest mathematicians of Europe, attracting the attention of many prominent mathematicians. In 1881, Poincaré was invited to take a teaching position at the Faculty of Sciences of the University of Paris. He accepted the invitation. During the years of 1883 to 1897, he taught mathematical analysis in École Polytechnique. In 1881 to 1882, Poincaré created a new branch of mathematics, the qualitative theory of differential equations. He showed how it is possible to derive the most important information about the behavior of a family of solutions without having to solve the equation. He successfully used this approach to problems in celestial mechanics and mathematical physics. He never fully abandoned his mining career to mathematics. He worked at the Ministry of Public Services as an engineer in charge of Northern Railway development from 1881 to 1885. He eventually became chief engineer of the Corps de Mines in 1893 and inspector general in 1910. Beginning in 1881 and for the rest of his career, he taught at the University of Paris. He was initially appointed as the Maître de Conférences d'Analyse. Eventually, he held the chairs of physical and experimental mechanics, mathematical physics and theory of probability, and celestial mechanics and astronomy. In 1887, at the young age of 32, Poincaré was elected to the French Academy of Sciences. He became its president in 1906, and was elected to the Académie Française in 1909. In 1887, he won Oscar II, King of Sweden's mathematical competition for a resolution of the three-body problem concerning the free motion of multiple orbiting bodies. In 1893, Poincaré joined the French Bureau des Longitudes, which engaged him in the synchronization of time around the world. In 1897, Poincaré backed an unsuccessful proposal for the decimalization of circular measure, and hence time and longitude. It was this post which led him to consider the question of establishing international time zones and the synchronization of time between bodies in relative motion. In 1899, and again more successfully in 1904, he intervened in the trials of Alfred Dreyfus. He attacked the spurious scientific claims of some of the evidence brought against Dreyfus, who was a Jewish officer in the French army charged with treason by colleagues. In 1912, Poincaré underwent surgery for a prostate problem and subsequently died from an embolism on 17 July 1912, in Paris. He was 58 years of age. He is buried in the Poincaré family vault in the cemetery of Montparnasse, Paris. A former French Minister of Education, Claude Allégret, has recently proposed that Poincaré be reburied in the Panthéon in Paris, which is reserved for French citizens only of the highest honor. Students: Poincaré had 2 notable doctoral students at the University of Paris, Louis Bachelier and Dimitri Pompou.